In this lesson we'll take a look at the number formats available in Excel. I've opened up the numbers worksheet from my data file folder. When you're working with numbers, it's important to realize that numbers have different formats depending on the type of data they're referring to. This is known as their data type. For example, a date takes on a different format than a price or a percentage. Excel recognizes these formats and treats the number according to its data type. I've got a list of numbers here, and they're formatted as the general data type. This is Excel's default value for anything you enter. The last number in this series is 1024, and we can format our numbers using the thousand separator, which is the comma. And if I come up into the numbers tool group, I've got a little comma button up here, and this will actually format our numbers to an accounting type. So if I click on that one, you'll see that now the comma has been placed just after the thousand. And also Excel has inserted 2 decimal places after our number. Well, we might not want the decimal places, but we want to keep that comma for the thousands. So let's see how we do that. I'm just going to undo to take us back to where we were before. And I'm going to come up again to the numbers tool group, and this time I'm going to click the dialog box launcher, and when I do, the format cells dialog box will appear, and we can see that all these numbers are currently formatted as general. I'm going to format them as number, and when I select that, we'll get the different options to allow us to refine that formatting. So here I can put a tick to include the comma separator, and in the decimal places I can reduce that down to 0. And when I do that and say OK, you'll see now that the number at the bottom of the list has the comma in it, but we don't now have any decimal places. I can change one of these numbers, so let's make this 4000, and when I do, you'll see the comma appear in there. Let's change this one, and we'll make this one 16 million, and you'll see the thousands commas being entered in. So we can control our different formats using the numbers tool group up in the ribbon. Let's take a look at some other formats. I'm going to come down to the bottom of the spreadsheet and click on the dates tab, and here I've got a list of dates, and I've split this table into 2 halves. So the top half is going to display short date and the bottom half the long date. So the first thing I'll do is to select the dates in our table that I want to convert to short date. And currently you can see that we've got 2 digits for the day, month and year. If I come up to the numbers group, just at the top here, I've got the number formats box, and the drop down arrow next to that will list the different formats that I can apply. So I'm going to come down to the short date format, and I'll click on that one. And what you'll see is that the numbers in the table have been updated to short date format, and in short date format the year has 4 digits. Let's do the bottom half of the table. We'll make these the long date format, and again I can come back up here to the number format box and click the drop down button, and down here you'll see long date format, and if I click on that one, these dates now have had the long date format applied to them, so we've got the full name of the month. All of these numbers represent dates, but now we've got 2 different date formats displaying. Let's have a look at some currency formatting now. I'm going to switch to the Money tab, and in this table we've got numbers that relate to currencies. So we've got some accounting numbers and we've got some currency numbers, and we'll look at the different formats that we can apply to these. Just to start with though, let's just have a look at the number of decimal places in each of these. This doesn't have any decimal places at all, whereas this one has 1. So we've got the number, the decimal place, and then 1 digit. That's referred to as having 1 decimal place. The next one, this has 2 decimal places, and again the third one here we've got 3 decimal places. We can increase or decrease the decimal places by using the tools in the toolbar here. So this will decrease decimal places, this will increase decimal places. And when we're working with currency, the standard is to use this format, the 2 decimal place format. So let's highlight the first group of numbers, and these represent English pounds. So to format these as the accounting currency type, we have a currency button up here, and if I click on the down button, you can see the entry there for the English UK pound. I'll click on that one, and what happens is Excel places the 2 decimal places in there along with the pound sign symbol. So these numbers are now formatted to the accountancy English pound format. Let's format the dollars. Exactly the same method. If we come up to the accounting number format and click the down button, here we've got the English US dollars, and if I click on that one, again 2 decimal places are added to the number and the dollar sign is inserted. We'll do the last one in the accountancy section. Highlight these should be formatted as euros, and again we have a euro option in the list of accountancy number formats just up here. So I'll click on that one, and again the euro symbol is inserted and we've got the 2 decimal places. All of the accountancy formats place the currency symbol over on the left of the cell, but when we're formatting in pure currency, the currency symbol will appear just before the number. So let's format these last numbers as currency, and we can do that by coming up to the number format tool and clicking the drop down button. Here we've got a format called currency, and if we click on that one, again Excel will put the 2 decimal places in and the currency symbol, but the symbol now is positioned just before the number. All of these formats are treated in the same way by Excel. If we're referring to a currency, Excel will put the currency symbol in there along with a thousand separator and normally 2 decimal places. But let's just see the differences between the last one here, currency, and the first one, the accounting number format over here. If I take this top cell and make that 0, you'll see that we have the pound sign plus 3 zeros. If I do the same thing over in the accounting section and make this a 0, Excel will display this one with the currency symbol and a little dash. So the difference between the 2 0 values in these formats is evident. Okay, let's look at the last worksheet, percentages. And we've got a list of numbers here that we can format as percentage. I'll highlight the numbers, and again we've got a quick access tool here in the numbers tool group. And if I click on that one, that will convert all of my numbers to the percentage format. And if I want to include decimal places in that, I can come up to the increase decimal places button in the number group and click, and each time I click, another decimal place will be added to the number. So I've clicked the button 3 times and now we've got 3 decimal places. We can reduce the number of decimal places by clicking the decrease decimal tool in the numbers tool group. So if I click on that one once, twice, 3 times, we're back to no decimal places. So it's important to format our numbers according to their data type or according to what those numbers refer to.